I have to sneeze. We have to take it. Wait, it's going away now. All right, we're good. All right, good. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard. Joining me today, the SID, Tom Ferguson, filling in for the good guy to know. Welcome. I'm glad you got the memo on the shirt.
I know. I've been matching with Eric the last couple of days, so I'm glad that you and I are on the same page.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
when I changed into the T-shirt that I wear every day to work, into this today, I'm like, I hope I don't pick the same one this time, because we got swag the other day from, Danny blessed us with some swag, so we all have new polls and stuff too. So I'm glad that we're thinking the same today.
Yep. It's exciting. Now listen, I'm not as good a guy to know, I don't think, as Danny Berg, so I'm going to do my best.
Soon, yeah. One, before we start, I just got to say, it is a burden hosting this show, because I just want to say to my new fans, Andrew Vine's parents, who I met Saturday at Memorial Stadium as I was walking by, they stopped and they looked and they're like, we know you, and they know me from the Falcons Corner. However, they did turn down an autograph because I offered an autograph to them.
Well, sure,
and I offered them to take a selfie with them also, and which we could have put up like right now on the screen if we did that, but they chose not to. But they did say how great of a job that we do on the Falcons Corner.
Well, that's great. That's good to hear.
I was very excited. So now Andrew Vines is now probably my favorite football player.
Well, special team specialist for him. I heard his name a bunch of times.
Yes. We made it. I know he got some defensive snaps and stuff too. In the game and stuff too. So big shout out to our from what I know our two biggest fans.
So we know at least three people right now. It's
yes.
Andrew Vine's parents and Sophia Andrioli, goalkeeper from women's soccer, that watch Falcons Corner.
Yes. So we're getting there again.
Slowly but surely.
But
building the audience.
Yep. But while we're on that football talk, football had a short week. Leading into this Saturday's game against McDougall Technical Institute, but won comfortably.
Yep.
So it was, I think, nice for Coach Duda maybe to relax just a little bit and get a lot of guys in the game, let that roster play, get guys on tape and have fun out there.
Well, think of how stressful and how hard that game was against Army. You and I were talking about that on the sidelines at Army last week, how when you're facing a team that runs that triple option, that hangs onto the ball for 10 minutes at a time on offense, that can wear you down as a team, both emotionally and physically. So to come back, to play a team like MTI that's just kind of getting started in junior college football, so Coach kind of knew going in he was going to get a lot of different guys in. And honestly, I thought we kind of saw that from the jump, that a lot of different names and fresh faces were getting in on defense and getting in offensively after the first couple series. We saw Braden Hawkins for pretty much the entire second half on offense for the Falcons, but for the most part they looked pretty comfortable. The running game finally got going. Antoine Squire got into the end zone, Isaiah Edwards, Xavion Evans all got some good carries. Barry Brown looked great again. We'll talk about him obviously in a second, hopefully, and it's just, all in all, it was a really stellar performance and just the one they need heading into this week.
Yep, and again, Barry connecting with Delvin on another deep ball.
Boy, they just find ways to make it happen.
Yep,
don't they?
Just throw it out there and let DP run underneath it. But it was nice to see those guys get comfortable, and especially like I said, we've talked about how they're getting up to their meaty part of their schedule right now. So when it was probably get everyone off the field, healthy, they could have won more. They could have easily won more than by 40. But I don't think Coach Duda was worried about that. I think he was like, all right, let's win, be healthy, get ready for Monroe next week.
Yep, and that's the big one now. They got Monroe Saturday at 7 o'clock. Lackawanna's back into the national rankings. They're number 11 on the latest ones that just came out this past Monday. Monroe is number 12, so they're right behind them. It's one of 3 games featuring top 15 teams playing each other this weekend.
So to be a great East Coast battle.
Yeah, the only
college football wise.
Only 2 teams on the East Coast that are currently in the NJCAA Division I rankings.
Yep. So we're excited for Saturday night and get the guys underneath the lights.
Yeah.
I know they're excited for that. Everyone likes playing underneath the lights.
Yeah, it's there's something about playing, like, even we see it obviously in our area with high school football. It adds a little extra oomph, a little extra element to be playing at night like that, and to have that in a big game. really the only show in town because you don't have like high school games going on in the afternoon, anything like that.
Right.
So people have an opportunity to come see it. It should be fun.
And if people are hearing stuff in the background, we're still going through renovations, right? So they're not in the studio doing the work, so we're safe. But,
we're okay. They're installing the volleyball poles, getting ready.
So if anyone's hearing
any
noise, they're not losing their mind and stuff too. So, but we'll finish up with football when we close up the show and just break down that matchup with Monroe. But we have some other athletic teams in action. Men's soccer, Coach Evans got his first W in his career and first W for them on the season. Yeah,
congrats to them. Ahmed Kaid got the only goal in the game. It was 1-0 that they won down at Hagerstown, and really, really impressive. They get a clean sheet from Matt Full and in between the pipes there and goal there. And Coach Evans gets his first win. I think that had been coming. They had that draw at Montgomery. They lost late against Northampton a couple weeks ago, and I think they were it was going to happen eventually, and they finally found, just the right circumstance, got a big win, and that's going to be a big boost for them moving forward.
Yep, and then our women's soccer, they weren't able to hold on, late in their match and end up losing by a goal.
Yeah, that was going to be a pretty evenly matched game, and I thought, especially considering who they played on this past Tuesday. They played Sussex, and that was a tough game against Sussex. But to come back in the next game and play as well as they did, hold the lead as late as they did as well into the 75th minute before 2 goals in 5 minutes kind of undid that. I think there's a lot of positives that Coach Tweedy and the team can take from that, move forward with.
Yep. So I think they're due for a W. So I know they got a matchup, 2 matchups this week. So hopefully they come back with a win. And then volleyball kickstarted their season this past weekend. Yeah,
they had their tri-match at Harrisburg against Raritan, who's very good. Harrisburg's very good too. So they lost both those matches, but it's early. Coach Pete kind of expected this, rebuilding a program. That's what it's going to be. Hopefully, we'll have a match Wednesday night down at Riverfront Sports.
Okay.
That's going to be the home opener for the women's volleyball team, I believe against Montgomery. So looking forward to that one and kind of seeing them in action. And again, getting this program up and running, getting it started. I know Coach Sinceri and Coach Pete have just been really, really excited just to have this team out there. And the girls, I think, are just excited to be playing.
Right. And then part of the reason why we're hearing all that noise is because we've got to get volleyball back in the gym. So they're making sure that we could hook those volleyball poles into the gym. So there's work going underneath our gym floor, to make sure that working. So hopefully we'll get volleyball, get them practicing on their home floor and then get to see them in the home floor.
As exclusive as people may think that Falcons Corner is, we don't necessarily have our own little room studio. We're kind of partitioned off in the main part of the student union. So we have to share it with other people, and we play nice with others. So that's what's going on.
And we're filming in front of a live studio audience. We got like 6 people maybe, and the people walking by. And we always get people walking by because the training room is, right past, where we film and stuff too. So, but let's talk a little bit athlete of the week. We mentioned Barry Brown. So, Barry was, they had 2 games in a week. So what he did against Army and then his first half against McDougal earned him Athlete of the Week honors.
Yeah, I mean, 8 touchdown passes in 2 games. Well, really 1.5 games because he didn't play in the second half against McDougal, but had those 5 touchdowns and over 400 yards passing against Army, including the 2 late touchdowns that brought Lackawanna College back and won them the game against Army. And then, against McDougal, he was 7-12, had 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, had that 77-yard bomb that he threw to DP, and has just been very, very good, very efficient. He's ranked in the top 6 in a couple different categories, including yards per attempt so far this year, just a shade under 10. So he's been really good, instrumental, has been a big part of why the offense, I think, has started to click a little more, especially passing. I mean, in years past, would you have thought that Lackawanna would be a team that relies a lot more on going through the air than necessarily on the ground?
Exactly.
Probably not.
At least since I've been here, they've kind of made a living, on the ground with that offensive line, just bullying people and just having the stable run. We still do that, but I think Coach Pardini, I'm going to go back to media day when he said what he was most excited about was his receiving corps. So there you go. So they're taking advantage of that.
Well, I mean, think of the guys that caught the touchdowns. Colby Young has had 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. I don't know that he had a catch in the first 2 games. They can really kind of cycle in and out of these guys that are all really talented or all have good hands, all have good speed, are all very dependable and sure-handed. But they make Barry look good, but honestly, he makes them look good too with some of the balls he's throwing. So he won Athlete of the Week. 8 touchdowns in 2 games. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. So I know we're going to try our best to get Barry, but I know big game week, and he's been in the training room and in the weight room and study halls and all that stuff. So we're going to do our best to try to get Barry. But you're also going to have someone else.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk to Masai DeJesus, who was our athlete of the week previously from Overwatch, from Esports. But I got to talk to him, and we'll have that interview coming up here in Falcons Corner. And he's really excited to be a part of the program. It's funny, after the first couple games or so, he had said he wasn't sure that it was for him.
Right.
And getting to kind of talk with his teammates, getting to know them a little more, getting to know obviously the college a little more and all that has kind of sold him on sticking here and sticking with the program. And they got a big win a couple weeks ago.
I've seen that esports lately have been putting those wins up. Like we've requested.
Rocket League. I watched a little bit of their game from last night, and they had a nice win too.
Good.
So they picked up their first win in conference play in NACE, and they've got a couple wins already overall on the season. So that was good to see.
Right.
And so I got a chance to talk to him, and we'll have that interview coming up here. So.
All right, good. So let's take a breather, and we're going to run around campus and look for Barry, and then we'll be right back on the Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Imagine the innovator you could be tomorrow with an innovative education today from Lackawanna College. Our Level Up program puts high school students on an early college pathway for an easier college transition and faster degree attainment at a dramatically lower cost. That's why Fast Company named us one of the world's most innovative companies. With an education from Lackawanna College, imagine where you'll be tomorrow. This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director for Lackawanna College, and we're here doing our Athlete of the Week interviews on Falcons Corner. We didn't get a chance to talk to him last week. We wanted to make sure we got him in this week. We've got Masai DeJesus from the Overwatch squad, had a big win, got Coach Bob D his first win 2 weeks ago as the head coach, and got you guys your first win of the season. He's Lord Yakuza. That's his gamer tag, one of my favorite gamer tags I've seen so far. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah? It's how big was it for you guys? You're getting the season underway and all that, but you get out, you get that first win of the year. I know it's been some tough competitions for you guys, but to get that first win a couple weeks ago, how'd that feel for you?
It felt pretty good, to be honest. I remember the first scrims that we lost. I was devastated because I was like, I can't compete with these people. They are too good.
Yeah.
And the team really supported me up. They had my back. And I didn't end it by myself. It was because of them.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought of quitting the team because I couldn't do anything. But they support me. They hype me up in the moments. Honestly, it was because of them that I'm here.
So because of that support, everything, you guys were able to get a win, and season starting to get underway and all that. I mean, we had this conversation with Caden a couple weeks ago from Rocket League when he was the Athlete of the Week. But how did you get involved? Like, how did it come to be where you're like, you know what? Not only am I going to go to college and play video games, but I'm going to be a part of a team that competes collegiately. How did that happen for you?
I remember that I was registering for the college,
mm-hmm.
and the lady told me that you guys have an esports team. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Eastern. But Teddy was not there. I couldn't meet him that day. And then I had to wait to the orientation to meet him.
Yeah.
And then when I met him, he told me that I could join. I talked to people in the Discord chat, and that's how basically I'm here.
What was it that kind of drew you to it? What was it that kind of clicked for you and you were like, you know what, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do.
Oh, basically the people that I play online with. They are so toxic in the online. And when I found these people that were so nice to me, they picked me up like they didn't know everything, nothing about me.
Yeah.
And they picked me up like I'm their best friend. And that actually felt really good to me.
Yeah. So why Overwatch? How did that kind of become the game that you're kind of specializing in, if you will?
It was during COVID that I actually had nothing else to do instead play video games.
Sure.
And my friend told me that I should try that game because he was playing like a lot. He would play like 8 hours a day. And I'm like, all right, let's play.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start playing it. I play a lot on the PS4, and I'm new to PC. That's why I couldn't compete at the beginning.
Sure, yeah.
It was very hard, the transition from console to PC, but I managed to do it.
and it just kind of clicked from there, and it was something you really enjoyed. And obviously you've taken it to Lackawanna College here, and you're part of the Esports program. Have you always been someone who's been into video games and into kind of playing that stuff?
Yep. Since I was 6 years old, I remember playing the old Counter-Strike, the 1.6. It was a lot. That game, it was my favorite, the first shooter that I played.
Okay.
On PC.
So are those the games you kind of like to play, like those first-person shooters, those kinds of games? What's your favorite game, maybe other than Overwatch? What's your favorite game that you've played in that kind of realm?
It was not a shooter. It was a fighting game, actually.
Okay.
It was the Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that I played because Dragon Ball was like my childhood.
Yeah,
then, and like I said that it's Dragon Ball and a video game, all connected. I'm gonna play it.
Now, was that kind of like the Dragon Ball version of like Mortal Kombat in a way? Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel like I've played it before. I might have played it with my friends or something like that on some forgotten night. So that's cool. That's awesome. So where are you from originally?
I was born in Dominican Republic, but I feel like I'm raised in New York because that's where I met my family again.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically all that I knew when I started to be like grown man, it was in New York.
Was in New York. That's kind of where you were, your formative years, if you will. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Your gamer tag mentioned at the beginning, Lord Yakuza. Where did that come from?
Actually came from an anime. The Yakuza gang, they actually they offer protection to a business, but you gotta pay them a lot. And actually I was like, damn, you're getting free bodyguard. Like they usually you pay them taxes basically for protection. And actually that status, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to put a word that he's a big status with the Yakuza gang. And it was like, I think a lot of words like king, God, and I was like, Lord. That sounds good. Lord Yakuza.
and then it just went from there, right?
Yep.
It just worked out from there. Do you have, I know it's obviously a little different competing maybe like in, physical sports versus like esports and video games, but do you have like pre-game rituals? Do you have things you have to do to kind of get yourself focused before a match?
I train a little bit on Osu, and then I go in a special game mode in Overwatch to train with my favorite character. It's Genji. I remember that I spent like maybe 50 hours on general. 50 hours on that specific game mode just to learn the character.
Just to get used to it and know everything. Do you like listen to music on like game days or when you have big matches coming up or?
Yeah, when I want to hype myself up, I listen to hard music like rap music, hip hop, trap, and the new one, how it's called, I forget. The new genre is popular right now. How could I just forget that? But drill.
Okay, all right. So things that are of high energy, okay, heavy. Okay, cool. Diet's always important, for any athlete. Got to make sure you're eating correctly. What's your favorite thing? What's your go-to meal here on campus?
Ooh, you won't believe it. Pizza.
Pizza. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Not bad. No, that's you can't go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, it's
hard
choice.
It's hard to screw that up.
Yeah.
What about off campus? Have you been around in Scranton, anything like that? What's kind of your go-to?
I eat a lot of Latin food that my mom cooks every day.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So what's kind of your goal? What would you like to see moving forward this season for you guys in Overwatch?
Improvement as a team. Not as a team, I felt that our teamwork was failing because we didn't know each other. And as time goes by, we get to know each other and the team work by it.
Well, and how important is that in a game like Overwatch? Because it's not something where one person can win, right?
Yeah, it's very important.
Because you need guys that are acting as like the tank to take kind of the damage. You need guys
for example, our main tank Gummy. You gotta predict when he press the shift button. if you don't predict that he's going to die, you gotta predict that and help him out.
Right.
Because if he dies, the whole team dies.
Yeah.
So we gotta be aware of him and the support.
Yep. So it's a lot more than just button mashing, right?
Yeah.
It's strategic. So, well, we wish you guys good luck the rest of the way. Congratulations on winning Athlete of the Week with Lackawanna College, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
You know, going to college is a lot more than just about getting an education. It's a life experience.
It's personal growth.
Connections that last a lifetime.
It's memories that are everlasting and experiences that you could have never imagined. It's an education that will change your life forever.
This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director for Lackawanna College, and we're continuing our interviews with our Athletes of the Week. We've got Barry Brown from the football team joining us. And Barry, you guys had 2 games in a week. You had the Army JV game last Monday and then the game against MTI on Saturday, but 8 touchdown passes for you, over, 550, almost 600 yards passing in those games as well. And obviously, most importantly, 2 big wins for you guys. How did it feel coming out of those games?
Well, coming out of the Army game, I felt like we accomplished a lot. You know, offensive wise, we stepped up what we normally would do. And going into the MTI game, we were able to like give our backups some exposure because you know the score in halftime was 40-6, so they were allowed to take us out so we can take a breath.
Yeah, so you guys got obviously some valuable time for some of the younger guys and some of the new guys and getting them some valuable reps. But let's talk about that Army game first, because that was a classic college football game. And you know, towards the end of the game, what's going through your mind? Because you have that interception, Army goes down to the 1 and scores. You guys are down by 11 with 6.5 to play. And all I heard on the sideline from guys was, this is not over yet. This is not over yet. Like, how did you guys kind of use that mindset to get back in and obviously come away with the win?
Truth, because I believe we were all raised where it's not over until like the last whistle blows. So we all kept fighting and playing what we have to do. We all took our own role and like accomplished what we had to accomplish.
You've got obviously a really good core of receivers to throw to this year. How much of a cheat code does it feel like sometimes to have guys like Cohen Russell or Delvin Palmer that can just blow the top off the defense like they do?
Well, it's more than just them, honestly. Cohen Russell and Cohen and DP, you know, they're fast and they can catch the ball.
Yeah.
But if I really need to go up top, you know, we still got Kobe Young, we got Fonzo, and we got Josh and Jawan.
Well, I mean, look at all these guys that are big, that all have good hands. I mean, that's a luxury for you as a quarterback, right?
I love that, honestly. I know I can go to any one of them and they'll catch
Does it feel like you can make mistakes sometimes throwing it and they can make up for that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but how exciting was that for you guys on Monday playing at Army up there at Mikey Stadium, you know, on campus, on post, all like the built that, like there's a ton of history that's been there too. Like that must have just been fun just to play there, right?
Yeah, for a lot of people, that's including myself, that's my first time playing in an actual stadium like that. Like,
yeah.
It was lovely watching the campus, like driving around, seeing how everything was, and playing in a stadium like that, like where it's echoes from everything, the wind blowing, like it was beautiful. And
then you guys had the home opener on Saturday against MTI. Came out all business in the first half. Were able to obviously come away with a big margin, like you said, and got some of the young guys' experience. But how did it feel to be back playing at home in front of fans too, you know, in the fall? Because obviously that didn't happen last year, and you guys had the one spring home game. So how did that feel to kind of be back at Scranton Memorial?
Honestly, playing back at there felt like more of a revenge type thing. Even though it wasn't snow that we played, it still felt like we had to make up for that loss we had for snow.
Right.
and it was like more of we have to win and we have to go score as much as we can.
Right. Right, and obviously that's what happened, 53-13, the final, so you get that win, and now coming up, you guys got Monroe under the lights on Saturday night at Memorial Stadium, 2 ranked teams. I mean, how much are you guys already looking forward to that game?
I'm really looking forward because that can boost us in the rankings-wise, so we have another chance to play in the Natty. Like, playing Monroe is another step closer to actually playing and making it to the playoffs for JUCO.
Right. What are you? Obviously, you guys want to play for a national championship. Hopefully, that's kind of the goal. But what's kind of your goal as the season moves forward? What you'd like to see from your team?
Well, I want to see all of us honestly get offers and be able to play at higher schools.
Yeah.
Good higher schools, honestly, and win one game at a time for real.
Yeah, just focus one game at a time. And what do you do for it's game day, time to focus in, time to lock in and get ready? What's kind of your routine? Do you have any rituals? Do you have music, specific songs you need to listen to? What do you do?
Honestly, from when I wake up to right before we leave to get out the locker room, I only listen to gospel music.
Okay.
It's like to relax my body, make me feel at ease.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of just focuses you and gets your head in the right space and all that.
Yeah.
What about food-wise on game day? Is there certain meal you have to eat? Something you have to do?
There's no certain food I have to eat. I just know, I like to breakfast time. I know I do like to eat. So.
Okay. All right. So you like to breakfast is your time and that's what you use. What about on campus here? Is there a certain go-to you have to have throughout the week? Something you rely on in the caf?
Tenders.
Chicken tenders?
Chicken tenders.
Everybody keeps talking about those. I haven't gotten them yet.
It's every Friday. That's one thing we can look forward to.
Okay, all right. What about around town here in Scranton? Have you gone out to any restaurants or anything like that yet, or no?
Nah, I really don't go out.
Okay, all right, cool. So, big game ahead with Monroe. Hopefully some other big games. You guys are traveling out to Utah later this season. You're going down to Georgia too to take on Georgia Military College at the end of the year. That should be a fun one too. We look forward to seeing what you guys are able to do. Congrats on winning Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
And good luck the rest of the way. We'll be back with more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Changing the world starts with you. And at Lackawanna College, we can help you put yourself on the path forward by helping you develop the knowledge and skills to help build a strong foundation, to make a difference in people's lives every day in rewarding fields like occupational therapy assistant. Because when it comes to changing the world, we believe it starts with you. This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College. Visit lackawannacollege.edu today.
Hey, Falcon Nation, back in the Falcons Corner, voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert, the SID, Tom Ferguson, filling in for the one and only Danny Berg. He is not suspended. He just couldn't make it today.
No, yes.
So let's just get that. He is not suspended.
Probably should have done that in the first segment. Not suspended, not on probation, nothing like that.
Yep.
Just, he's a busy guy, He's got things going on, had meetings, he's running soccer programs, he's the king up there, up north of us. He's got a lot of plates up in the air.
He does. So, and then don't forget a 1-year-old too. So
yes, let's put that on top of it too.
Throw that on top of it too, and stuff. And then having to work with all of us, that could be even worse. But we always want to give a big thank you to all of our guests that come onto the Falcons Corner, taking time out to chat with you, and but we like to promote them and have our audience get to know them as best as
absolutely,
we know
yeah.
them. So.
I mean, it's important, I think, for our standpoint and for the audience to know. As much as we like to think this show's about us,
right.
It's not about us. It's about athletics. It's about the kids that do all these great things that enable us to talk about it.
Exactly.
So we're happy to have guests on.
And speaking of great things, women's basketball last week, had their first annual alumni game in honor of Jasmine Lewis. I think Coach Whittington had maybe like a dozen or so, former players, come back and play against our current roster of girls, and it was a good night. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I was really impressed with it. I really enjoyed the energy in the gym. I know that on the broadcast with Eric, he kept mentioning it, and I'm sure you felt it too, because you obviously had those games with nobody in there, and you're making announcements to nothing, and to have that in the gym for the first time that probably in a long time for us, that must have been special.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see Dr. Jill Murray at the game, because she's usually a staple at women's, basketball games.
Right.
And not seeing her across the gym floor in her normal seat around midcourt, was really strange last year, and couldn't really wrap my mind around, okay, Dr. Murray is not at games. And so it was nice to see, Dr. Murray at games.
And they raised money through the...
and I'm not just saying that to kiss her butt, by the way. I'm just saying it's the truth.
They raised money through the PayPal account, through shirts that they sold, and concessions and all that. It's a glorified scrimmage in a lot of ways, but it was competitive. And I tell you what, Mike, I'm looking forward to watching this women's team play this year, because the current crop of Falcons look pretty good.
Yeah, and like I said, our returning ladies, have some experience, and the freshmen that are here, can play.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. And like I said, I've been around them a little bit because I refereed some of their scrimmages and stuff too. So I'm glad to see they were less harsh on the officials Friday night than they were on me. But it was a great event. So kudos to everyone involved. That volunteered their time, helped out, helped raise some money, and raise money for Jasmine Lewis' family, because they're going to donate all those funds to a charity of their choice to help combat that gun violence in Philadelphia.
I hope it's something we can build on and keep doing every year, get more alumni out. Thanks to the alumni that came back as well. A lot of these girls are recent alum that are still playing. We had a couple of people that are playing at Cal, a couple of people, or Cal U out in Pennsylvania, a couple of people that are playing at some of the Penn State campuses and whatnot, and they took time to come back and be a part of this.
It was great. It was great seeing them all. It's been a while since I saw some of the ladies, so it was really nice. So well job there. But let's put a wrap on the show. So let's finish up what we got going on this week. So we've already talked football. We said we previewed that a little bit, but all we're expecting is a close game. Hard-fought game, a lot of energy in the stadium, and Monroe and Lackawanna are, kind of, I feel like a little bit of rivals, since we're both on the East Coast and both kind of East Coast powerhouses. So get yourself out to Scranton Memorial Stadium, 7:00 kickoff. It should be a close game, but hopefully the Falcons will pull off a W and keep climbing those rankings. Yeah, tickets sold at the door that you can get in. If you can't make it, we'll have it on our YouTube channel as well. It'll be fun. They're two of the better passing offenses, I should say, in the country in terms of like different statistics and whatnot, especially yards per attempt. Monroe throws it all over the place and goes deep on a lot. So the good secondary for Lackawanna College is definitely going to be tested. But I think this is what we play for, having games like this on Saturday And I'm glad you
night.
said that about Monroe throwing the ball, because all of you Penn State fans out there could watch safety number 3, who's going to Penn State from Lackawanna College, Tyrese Mills, really make a chance to make some plays Saturday nights.
Yeah, if you survive the Iowa game, which some Penn State fans, as Penn State fans may know, the Iowa game is never easy. As long as you're not sick of football at that point, definitely come down and watch it and check it out. Check out Tyrese. Check out all the guys in action and just watch some really, really good football here in Scranton. Right,
and plus I'll be there, so
who else to carry you
through? If anyone wants to get a picture, an autograph, if Andrew Vine's parents want to redo and say, we regret that decision, we're going to do that.
Here's your
I'll look for you on Saturday.
We encourage you to grab, or to bring rosters or whatever, scan the codes you have and bring up the rosters. But if you don't, it's okay. Mike will be identifying everybody out on the field at all times.
We will. So let's put a wrap on the rest of athletics. So, soccer, women's and men's soccer both have a couple matches scheduled this week.
Yeah, men's soccer was supposed to play today, which is Tuesday, but that game got postponed. So it might be Wednesday.
Okay.
Depends on availability and all that. Women's soccer is up at Corning on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're watching this released on Wednesday, then that's happening today. They're both playing down at Mercer on Saturday in New Jersey, I believe 1 and 3 o'clock on Saturday the 9th. And then volleyball is home on Wednesday at 6 p.m. against Monco, but then they're not home again, or they don't play again until next Monday, so they don't have anything going on the weekend. I know Esports Valorant's going on Thursday at 7 o'clock. You can catch that on Twitch. You've got Overwatch on Friday at 6 o'clock on Twitch as well. We talked about football, obviously, and then, otherwise, baseball is going to be home in a scrimmage against Misericordia on Sunday.
Okay.
That's going to be a pretty good game. It's a doubleheader. It starts at noon down at Scranton High School. Misericordia has won, I think, 10 straight MAC Freedom Championships in Division III, and they've gone to the College World Series a couple times in D3, and obviously our Falcons have gone to in the last 3 seasons that they've played as well. So that actually should be pretty fun. You've also got the Falcon softball team.
Yep.
They've got their golf tournament on Saturday. If you still want, I think they're still taking people for that
good.
too. Reach out to Coach Pitt.
Yep.
We'll have a graphic up, then I'll have his information. You can reach out to him on that.
And I see Coach Pitt's been promoting that on his social media sites.
It's been
and
all
stuff
over Facebook with their stuff as well. So they've got that going on Saturday, and then they are playing, I think it's Penn State Schuylkill on Sunday at home at the softball fields down at Scranton High School with a doubleheader starting at noon as well.
Yep.
And then, of course, got men's and women's basketball. They don't start up with their scrimmages until more middle of October. I think the 16th is the first women's scrimmage.
Okay.
And then the 23rd, I think, is the first men's scrimmage.
But they're back full time on the floor practicing.
They're practicing.
And stuff too,
I hear them running around up there. Balls bouncing. It's good. It's a good sound to hear. And then wrestling. Obviously, Coach Frank Barbry's been here for a couple weeks now.
Yep.
He's been meeting with his players and his student athletes, and they're going to start getting ready soon.
Yep.
I haven't gotten a schedule yet as to when they start,
but it'll be happening soon.
It's
We're getting
coming
there.
quicker than we realize.
Yes, so it's October, like we've always mentioned. October is the time when we're going to get crazy, crazy busy, and we are here. So with that said, I've had enough. I can't take anymore.
It's a lot. It's a cornucopia, if you will, of sports to talk about.
Yes. But thanks for joining us today, filling
Absolutely.
in. I think
Happy
you did a
to do it.
swell job.
A swell. Not. I'm sure if the boss was down here, he'd be handing out like A minuses, B pluses,
Probably.
not A's or A pluses, because
No,
there's always that room for
that
improvement.
exactly and stuff too. So which is fine because we know that, but we know and deep down we're A pluses. But good, best of luck to all of our Falcons. If you can't watch our live streams, make sure you check our results on LackawannaFalcons.com or on our all social media sites, including Twitch. All right, thanks. I'll see you at some games.
You got it.
Have a great week, Falcon family. We'll see you next week. Take flight.